Hey, what's up guys? I hope you're having a fantastic day. If not, maybe by the end of this video, you will be. That's my goal at least. Anyway, welcome to Q&A number 13. In this Q&A, I'll be answering 16 of your guys' questions. So as always, thank you so much for asking me questions. If you have a question, feel free to comment it on one of my videos. I apologize if I don't answer your question, but I receive a lot of questions, so we'd be here all day if I answered all of them. Plus, a lot of the questions are actually repeats. So yeah, don't feel bad about asking the same question again if I didn't answer it. I don't mind, I completely understand because I can't see every comment. I really do apologize about that, but it's just how it is. Now moving on to some channel news real quick. I just hit 12,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for the continued support after really everything. So I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I'm also currently on vacation. Today is Sunday if you're watching this real time. And I did leave to go to New Orleans, Louisiana. So I'll do my best to reply to some comments, but I won't be as active on YouTube during my vacation because of course I'm only on my phone rather than the computer. Plus, it's vacation, so I'm going to be spending time with family and doing some other things. I will be back on Thursday though, so that's when things will get back to normal. So now let's dive right into the questions. Alright, let's start off with a question from Damien Fowler. What characters that aren't confirmed would you like to see make a cameo in Cars 3? So great question, and I definitely like to see Francesco Bernoulli. I thought that he was a great character from Cars 2 that eventually became nice, even though toward the beginning of the movie he was pretty mean to McQueen. And I think that if we saw him in Cars 3, he actually would be supporting McQueen, unlike Chick Hicks, who most likely will be the opposite. I think that just because he hates McQueen so much, he will support Jackson instead. But I really don't think I'll get my wish granted that Francesco will appear. But I do have some more reasonable options like Corey Turbowitz, Jay Limo, or Dale Earnhardt Jr. I think those are pretty reasonable to ask for, and they are kind of like memorable and knowable characters that you you might remember from Cars 1 that I think would be great to see in Cars 3. Moving on to the next question from Flame13. Will you ever make customs? I'd certainly like to make customs, but at the moment I don't have much time to learn how to make them because at the moment I am clueless on how to make decent customs. So I'd have to learn and then do them. I'd like to try, but right now I'm content with buying my customs from other people. So someday I'll try it, but right now I really just don't have the time to learn and then make. So I really need to take like a whole summer, or really like a whole summer actually, to just kind of learn how to make customs and then try them out for myself. But I know a whole lot of people make great customs and are willing to sell them, so I'm content with buying them from those people. Moving on to the next question now, we have from Fabian Cortez. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Is it Fabian Cortez or Fabian? I'm sorry, but let me know in the comment section below. Do you speak more than one language? Yes, I've been learning Spanish for 3 years now, and I consider myself pretty decent at it. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, ¿y tú? And another question from Fabian or Fabian Cortez. Again, I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Do you like or collect Hot Wheels? Yep, I collect some Hot Wheels. For the most part, I buy the Hot Wheels Marvel character cars like this one right here. And I have a video on those coming out tomorrow. So it'll actually be the first video I've done in quite some time that's not related to Disney cars. So I think it'll be pretty cool and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Now getting back to the question, I also buy some random Hot Wheels that I find interesting, and of course, any treasure hunts that I come across as well. By the way, one last thing for you Marvel fans out there, I'm sure you recognize both of these right here. Of course, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's a movie that will be coming out in May if you guys don't already know. And on the right here, Iron Fist. The TV Netflix show Iron Fist just dropped last Friday. I watched it and I personally thought it was pretty good, although the critics, they didn't like it so much, but that doesn't impact my opinion. But I do not recommend watching it if you're younger because it is rated TV MA, which I'm pretty sure means TV mature. So moving on to a couple questions from Danico Blue 43. how do you think the king will react to McQueen's crash? So another great question. I think he'll be very sympathetic to McQueen's crash because he, of course, crashed himself in Cars 1, and as we know, McQueen helped the king still cross the finish line. For McQueen, I doubt there will be anyone there for him to do the same. So that will make the king even more sympathetic and caring, and I think it'll be great to see them interact in the movie. They will definitely have a great friendship going on. Moving on to the second question from Danica Blue 43. If someone had a Cars 3 ticket and gave you an offer of him giving it to you for all of your cars, would you accept the offer? Absolutely not. That's a terrible trade in my opinion because I'm a patient guy. I can wait for the movie to come out and see it as much as I want then, and then even buy it on DVD or Blu-ray and then watch it countless times. There's no way thousands of cars that are worth thousands of dollars are worth a couple months. Interesting question though, I like it, but yeah, no way Jose. Moving on to the next segment of the Q&A, Sabi asks, do you have a girlfriend? Nope, not at the moment. Since I'm really busy, it'd be hard to have a relationship, but I just haven't really found anyone either. Moving on to a question from Beta Master, where is the best place to buy cars and planes? Well, it completely, entirely depends on where you live in the world. In the United States, the best places are Target, Walmart, and Toys R Us. At this very moment in March of 2017, Target has been getting in the most new cars, whereas Walmart and Toys R Us have been a little slow lately, with the exception of Toys R Us getting in the Easter cars. Now moving on to Canada, Walmart is probably the best because Target closed several years ago in Canada. In Europe, Toys R Us is pretty good from what I've heard, specifically in the United Kingdom, Asda and Tesco are pretty decent. In Australia, Kohl's, Big W, and Target are the best, and truly, Toys R Us is always a good place to check wherever you are in the world. Toys R Us is pretty much all over, no joke. Australia, North America, Europe, Malaysia, and even more places as well. So if you have one nearby, that's probably the best place to go, especially if you're not in the United States. That was a great question, by the way, very informative. Moving on to a question from Jake Cars Reviews. How did you get all of those damaged race cars? So Jake is referring to the damaged piston cut racers I had in the background of my last Q&A, and a lot of people were curious about this. So I decided to put them in the background again. Now, these aren't all of them. If you want to see all of them, you can check out my last Q&A, which was Q&A 12. So here's the answer. I bought them from an amazing customizer named 4Wheel Drive 7. He does a great job on everything he does. If you'd like to contact him with a request or any questions, you can check him out on my Google Plus community. Link for that will be down in the description below. I will probably do a review on them in the future, by the way. I definitely would like to, but other things have been coming up. But I do have even more customs from him that I plan on reviewing in the future. Next up, Ben 10 Reboot Points asks, are you going to upload a special video or live stream about Cars 3 right before the movie comes out, which would be June 15th or 16th? Yes, I do plan on doing some sort of video right before the movie comes out, like the final speculation and the final thoughts. I might even try out my first live stream and answer some questions from you guys and just talk about Cars 3 in real time. But I'm still learning how to live stream properly, so I'm not entirely sure about that. I'll do my absolute best to release some sort of final speculation video. And of course, I will do a movie review for Cars 3 afterwards, one without spoilers and one with spoilers. But I'll definitely try my absolute hardest to do a final speculation video, but it's more likely that it will be a video rather than a live stream because I'm not entirely sure how those work yet. Alright, moving on to the last segment of questions for this Q&A, which as you can see features a new background that shows the Cars 3 good side versus the Cars 3 evil side. So I personally really like this background. I know Natalie Certain may not be evil. Same thing with Tim Treadless over there, the next gen Nitro racer, but we don't have many characters or much information right now, so this is the best I could come up with. You can probably spot some interesting little Easter eggs and details in there as well as I go through the questions. So Esteban Hernandez asks, did you play Disney Infinity? And if so, did you enjoy it? So yes, I bought the first version because I really wanted to play the Cars aspect of the game. However, I never got super hooked on it. I enjoyed the game quite a bit, especially the Cars section, but I didn't really stick with it and keep buying the figures or the second version. I kind of wish it didn't get canceled though, because I'm sure they would have implemented Cars 3 into it in the third version. But we do know that there will be a Cars 3 video game regardless, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Although I don't really play video games anymore, so I'll probably get it and try it out. I think it'll probably be pretty good. I mean, they always make pretty good games, especially the really early Cars games in like the 2007, 2008, and those types of games. But you know, that's a topic for a different video. Esteban also asks, have you been to Cars Land in Disneyland? Yep, I went in November of last year for the very first time ever, and it was a lot of fun. Of course, I like Disney anything, so I really enjoyed it, and actually 2 weeks from now, I'll be in Disney World, so that'll be another awesome experience. Moving on to a question from Rad Boy. What if Lightning McQueen survives from the crash and gets fixed up? Would there be Cars 4 and Cars 5? Well, let's clarify one thing. McQueen will definitely survive the crash, but that doesn't necessarily mean they will continue the franchise. Brian Fee, who's the director of Cars 3, said that this is only the beginning for McQueen, however, so it's definitely possible that there will be more movies. I really hope there are, but it ultimately depends on how Cars 3 ends. If it ends in kind of a cliffhanger, then there most likely will be another movie. But if it kind of closes off the story of pretty much everything, then, you know, there may not be, which I'd be okay with that, because if they close the franchise, you know, kind of perfectly and just seal everything off, as I like to say, I'd be content with that, just having my little trilogy of Cars movies. Francisco Noble Waters asks, what would win, Hennessy Venom GT or McQueen? So I don't really know what the Hennessy Venom GT is, but I did some research and found out that its top speed is around 270 miles per hour, which is absolutely insane. McQueen's top speed is way lower than that. It's definitely in the hundreds, like 180 or something, 190 something. I believe that's what it said on that statistic picture from Entertainment Weekly a couple months ago. And even Jackson Storm's, you know, top speed is way lower than that, like 219, 214 or something like that. So statistically, the Venom GT would definitely win, but you can't really compare McQueen to a real life car, but that's an interesting question. Francisco has a second question, which is, do you think McQueen got slower in Cars 3? So no, I personally think everyone else around him got faster, like the next generation rookies. They are just so much newer and more advanced than he is. He might have degraded a little bit due to his aging, but I don't really think it was anything significant if that is the case, because, you know, as time progresses, technology progresses, but McQueen, with his older technology, is kind of being stuck in the past, and that's where the conflict comes in here with, you have your next gen racer and you have your stock car McQueen from 2006 when he was the newest, the most high-tech racer, but now he is 11 years old pretty much in terms of racing. That was actually a really, you know, good thought-provoking question. Moving on to another amazing question that really made me think hard from Baron Nation Entertainment. What is your biggest fear of all? So, like I said, great question, very tough as well. I've been thinking about this for a while. I've even talked about it with a friend. I've come to the conclusion that I'm most afraid of just not being successful in life and being lonely. I want to have a good life, be happy, and find someone to be with, pretty much. That's what everyone wants for the most part. So I'm just afraid of not achieving those things. I'll definitely strive toward those things though, like as much as I can, like I'm pretty sure everyone does in life. I'm doing that now even, making these videos. It's kind of my way of doing something successful and beneficial for everyone to enjoy. I hope you guys see it that way as well. So that's all for Q&A number 13. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, here's the question for the audience. So originally asked by Bear Nation Entertainment, what is your biggest fear of all time? So I thought that was a great thought-provoking question, and in my opinion, it's very important to at least give it a thought. But if you don't feel comfortable sharing that, you definitely don't have to. But we do have a very kind community around my channel. I rarely see anyone saying mean stuff to someone else, and when I do, delete. I remove their comment as soon as I can. One quick thing about the dioramas and backgrounds in my last couple Q&As. I'm sorry if they have, seemed reused or recycled. That's just because I'm focusing a lot on Cars 3 and Pro supporting Lightning McQueen because that's what's popular right now leading into the release of Cars 3 and all the diecasts as well. And one quick word of thought or word of advice. I don't even know what this is, but despite Jackson Storm's success in racing and being super fast, does he have friends? Does he have fans? By looking at the stands in the trailers, he doesn't really have many fans. McQueen, we've heard his fans in the trailers, the one that screams, "Lightning! Lightning!" So that just goes to show you that even though you may not be the winner, you still may have a bunch of friends backing you up, and I feel like that is what matters in the end. And that is what will make McQueen win over Jackson Storm. So let me know what you guys think of that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a video on Marvel Hot Wheels. Bye now!